Okay. I'd like to give credit to Allison Macon, who actually did most of these slides. The rest of us were just kind of along for the ride. If the reference to a reverse tree is a little too oblique, that refers to the inatter.arpa and ip6.arpa domains. Internet2 has arranged for a pilot implementation of DNSSEC, and there's really not too much involved at this point. The participants have just agreed to assign at least one of their zones, and it doesn't have to be a production zone. It can be a test zone or something not used on a daily basis. And so the other thing that we're doing is exchanging keys with each other so that we can mutually validate each other's data. And we're also configuring resolvers to make use of those keys to validate the data. And we're also working with Shinkuro on this pilot. So far we just have 3 participants. Magpie has been pretty ambitious here. They signed magpie.net and .org, which are actually production domains, and 15 reverse zones. Merit, you probably recognize nanog.org, and there's also ridb.net has been signed, and one of our inatter.arpa zones, which we use for nanog. So there's a couple of URLs there where you can download our keys and configure them in your resolver. NiserNet has done a domain under niserlab.org. And we've had a number of other participants who are actively developing DNSSEC deployments on their campuses. I believe UCLA is actually going ahead and buying a number of new servers specifically for DNSSEC deployment. So Internet2, we have, we're pretty, we want to try to be cutting edge and try new things, so we're sort of suited to do this kind of trial. And we have a number of campus DNS groups that are participating and are active in Internet2, so it seems like a natural environment. As I mentioned, Magpie has already done 15 reverse zones, and Merit has done 1, but while the reverse mappings aren't really strong identifiers, and you really want to do the forward mappings, there are a number of operators out here which I think use reverse zones for naming interfaces and equipment, so there should be an interest in operators. And the other issue we notice is that we have various domains under .net, .org, .edu, and so it's not clear when these top-level zones will actually be signed, but we all have domains under inatter.arpa, so it's sort of a natural place to start. At the RIPE meeting last week, IANA actually stated its intent to sign .arpa and .int zones by the end of the year. Notice I said intent. I'm not real clear on how strong that is, but RIPE has already gone ahead with its inatter.arpa zones that it delegates, and so it has a process for actually doing signed delegations. So they're pretty far along. So what we're interested in is actually getting Aaron to do this as well, and we've talked to some folks at Aaron, and they say it's on their project list, but it's not a real high priority. So they're looking to you to actually make this a higher priority and to move it up the priority chain. So there's a number of tools out there already, and the standards seem to have kind of stabilized at this point. There were recently a set of 3 RFCs that kind of finalized the DNSSEC work. It's been going on for about 10 years now, so I think at this point people are pretty happy with how it looks. And so this may be a little optimistic, but since IANA is shooting for the end of the year, we're hoping that maybe Aaron can do the same, or at least move it up in terms of priority.
Excellent. Thank you, Aaron.